We're up to mitzvah number 75. This is found in Parshas Mishpatim. It's mitzvah's loisa say number 44 in the Torah. It's also on men. Specifically, it's a Shemais Chav Gimel Pasuk Aleph, Shemais 23 verse 1. It says, Al Toshes Yodcha Im Rasha Liyos Eid Chamas. You cannot Toshes Yodcha, set out your hand, Im Rasha, with a wicked man, Liyos Eid Chamas, to be a false witness. So it's forbidden for us to accept the testimony of a wicked person, basically a Rasha. Can't accept the testimony of a Rasha. Now, sometimes a guy's a Rasha, but he won't lie. He's got it. Supposedly, that's the one thing he doesn't do. There's a famous story. We could talk about it another time about this guy. Rav Shalom Shadran tells over about this guy. He was a miser. He'd do a horrible man, but he never would lie. If he said he was going to do something, if he said he was going to attack you, you could believe him. But more than that, if he said he was going to do something, he always kept his word. But even so, we cannot accept the testimony of a wicked person. The Torah says you cannot accept the testimony of a wicked guy, a person who's considered a Rasha. Now, the same in Jewish law, we have to have two witnesses. Therefore, if one of the witnesses knows the other guy's a Rasha, even if and he knows that the judges are not aware of it, he cannot be a witness with this other partner witness. If he knows the other guy's a Rasha. Now, even if he knows himself that this is true, and if I don't testify, the other guy who did this thing is going to get off, because you don't have two witnesses, you only have me. That other guy, the Rasha, can't testify. But unless I keep my mouth shut and let him testify, you testify with him, the person who did the Aveira is going to walk. You're still not allowed to. And that is because, again, the judges are going to be deciding it based not on your testimony, but on his testimony, because you need two witnesses. So they're going to be deciding it based on the person who is the Rasha. It's going to be necessary to accept his testimony. Now, who's considered a Rasha? Who's considered a wicked guy? So, number one, a person who does Aveira, as we call a hachis. That's out of spite. Okay? Well, actually, no. Not just out of spite. Even the guy does it out of l'teyovai, meaning like he wants to benefit. He wants to get some enjoyment out of it. If a guy is seen, this is the main thing, the guy is seen doing an Aveira, which is a problem, but you have to know that the guy's actually doing an Aveira. But whatever penalty that it is, if it's a Malchus or if it's a Misa, whatever it is, if the guy's seen doing an Aveira, then you know that guy's considered a Rasha. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing the Torah says is we find by Moshe Rabbeinu. This guy, it says, Moshe Rabbeinu said, "Why do you pick up your hand to hit this other guy? Rasha, lama sakareyecha. Rasha, why are you hitting your neighbor? Why are you hitting your friend?" So we learn out from there that a person raises up his hand, even if he doesn't strike the person, but he goes, he's considered a Rasha. It's possible for Eidos. A person who swears falsely, or let's say violates an oath. A person who is careless about pronouncing Hashem's name. He says, just goes around using Hashem's name in vain. A person who goes around, who damages somebody else's property intentionally. Even if he's going to pay for it. He says, I'm going to pay you for this, but he goes and he smashes the guy's thing intentionally. It's considered a Rasha. A person who's involved in taking, as we call, ribis, interest on a loan. It's considered a Rasha. So you hear this? A guy who takes interest on a loan cannot testify. He's possible to testify. And then also a guy who causes either Jewish money or causes a Jew to get in trouble by snitching. A moiser, we call that. A person who goes to the authorities, tells on Jews, to the goyim, is considered a moiser. In each of those cases, if the man is considered a Rasha, and if so, he is prohibited from testifying, and he cannot be included in testimony.